Captain Big Chicken debuted. We didn't do a
Talking
movie.
about her feet, chicken feet.
No.
No, okay.
Her presence. I don't think it's a bad movie. I equally don't think it's a good movie.
I agree. It's vanilla pudding.
Big Chicken.
It's cauliflower rice. That's what it is.
Maybe. But you know,
That's bad.
it's not.
That's not
That's
good.
not bad.
Neither is this.
Yeah, it's broiled broccoli with just not enough garlic powder.
Right, exactly.
You know.
Yeah.
Did we need this much Nick Cage?
I need all the Nick Cage.
But
But
Nick
I'm not
Cage,
sure.
sorry, Nick Fury. Nick Fury.
I do it too.
Yeah. Do we need that much Nick Fury?
I'm good with it. You know,
I'm not bad with it. I'm not bad with it. I'm asking, did we need? Because I'd almost rather just have a Nick Fury movie by itself.
I'll tell you what I've been thinking a lot about over the past week. At the end in that bonus scene, does she look haggard? Does she look a bit rough?
I don't think so.
I
need to watch it again.
I don't think so.
In my mind, she does. And she went to leave to fight war. If she's been fighting for all of this time,
Yes.
and her power may not be
What it
now what it was, I'm much more interested in her character. I don't feel a whole lot of threat. There's no kryptonite.
I took my daughters. My oldest, who's 12, walked over and said to me, she gets her power from the Tesseract.
Right.
So how is she going to fight Thanos with that?
Dude, I said that exact same thing
Yeah.
when we talked.
And I was
about
like, very good point. And even my 12, 10, and 8-year-old girls were like, it's fine. Did you like it better than Infinity War? No. You know,
it.
like
Did you ask them if they liked it better than Wonder Woman?
they like Wonder Woman better.
Okay.
Wonder Woman is better.
Oh, absolutely. Again, it's not a bad movie, but it doesn't deserve all the accolades. It doesn't deserve all the hate. And like the best way I described it to you, it's a Sci-Fi Channel mid-season finale. That's what it is.
My main issue with it is her. And
She's got a deadpan.
She's not dynamic.
there's no twinkle in her eye.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only way I know how to describe it. Like,
We're a bunch of dudes sitting around talking about how a woman's not dynamic. Can you think of a time where you walked out of a movie and said the same thing about a lead actor? He's not dynamic. I'm just kind of playing devil's advocate here.
yeah, no, I think that's a worthwhile conversation having. To me, I throw Ant-Man in that. You know, I don't
It's
think
a
there's
one-trick
any-
pony with a comedy.
I don't think there's anything special about him,
About-
Paul
you
Rudd,
don't- okay,
in that role.
So I think the Paul Rudd you get in that is Paul Rudd. That is the same actor, that same character
Agreed.
he has played in every Judd
Agreed.
Apatow movie the past 15 years.
Yeah.
I would say the same about Bautista. I don't think he brings anything special to
Put
that.
a lot of sauce on that.
Is that? I don't know how his name is.
Batista.
But just Batista.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
you just dropped the U. I don't believe him. I
Okay.
think that's a guy in green makeup reading lines.
I like Batista. He is alien enough. That's just how he is.
But to play it on the other side of things, I get that dynamic from Gamora.
Yep.
I get that dynamic from Wonder Woman.
Yep.
I get that dynamic from Wasp.
Yeah, definitely.
The reason why I didn't do a movie review for this and all that, one, I don't really have much of an opinion on it. Two,
Right.
is because my main issue is with her performance.
I mean, Mom Cheadle's performance was good.
Yeah.
It's another thing.
She looks like Don
Listen,
Cheadle.
it's Don Cheadle, but it's Dawn.
Dawn.
I don't want to feed the people that are hating her because of some they misunderstood in an interview.
I agree. I don't think it's hate worthy. The one scene that was kind of trash is like at the very end when she stands up and she stands up as a little girl and stands up as a teenager and stands up when she's in the Air Force and then she stands up and like it's
I
like
love
kind
that.
of
It's my favorite scene.
It's too much.
It's
on
my
the-
favorite
it's
scene.
too much on the nose.
You know what my
it's
issue?
too much on the nose.
You know what my issue is with that scene?
What's that?
It wasn't earned. That scene, had I connected with that character, becomes one of my top 10 favorite scenes of all time.
So therefore, it's not a good scene because it doesn't match.
See, but I disagree. What I think is that it's not the problem with that scene; it's the problem with the rest of the movie. Like that part, they did right.
You're arguing from the opposite side.
Correct.
Yeah.
There should have been enough there for when that scene hit that you were like, God, Carol Danvers is here.
I should have given you chills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It didn't.
And instead, I'm watching it like, this is beautiful. This is great. This is perfect.
So it's technically well done.
It's just that everything that led up to it didn't make it hit the way it should have. That's my beef with that. It's the way that her character is written. It's the fact that it's not told in a linear fashion.
I didn't have any problem with the way it was told. I actually thought the writing and the pacing was fine. It just wasn't exciting.
Well, the whole movie,
Juice in it.
It didn't invoke any emotion.
Yeah.
The only thing that did was the Stanley moment.
I teared up.
Yeah, that was the best.
Yeah.
And then him on the bus.
The one bit I feel like I'm going to say right now, and I'm going to get some hate on it, is that I don't like what they did with the Skrulls because it comes from a cultural relativistic thing. The Skrulls were terrorists or whatever. We don't know the motivation why the Kree attacked the Skrulls. We know comic book wise it's just a war that's been going on forever and maybe they forgot what the war is for. There's this aspect of it that I don't like, that it's like, oh, these people who are terrorists, they're just trying to be with their family and whatever people, so it justifies their behavior. I mean, he still killed people. You know, he kidnapped her and then he was torturing her, but now all of a sudden they're sitting across the table making jokes books and having dinner.
Well, I did
You
read
do that
up.
with Magneto all the time.
Well, I did read up on the Skrulls, and there is like this consistent side of the Skrulls they've always shown of like these little pocket organizations that are.
I mean, yeah, not all scrolls can be bad.
Correct.
I'm accepting with that.
So I guess
that's not the story that they told.
It's not the road they led you down.
I don't know because they didn't explain this well enough. It seems that the Supreme Intelligence just wanted the Skrulls eradicated because of their abilities. It made them impossible to enforce. So therefore, we can't control this thing, so let's just destroy it. That's just me. That's me filling it in. That's my headcanon. No way do they explain to what it is. It's just they're trying to expand the empire, and the Skrulls don't want to live under Kree rule. So then they made them terrorists.
I think what bothers me most about it is like, do you have any concern whatsoever that anybody in the Marvel universe might be a Skrull at this point? Do you get that feeling?
I don't have that vibe, but I'm waiting for the twist. I think it's a planted
you
twist.
just find the guy still wearing the Adidas jumpsuit. You're like, that's him.
Yeah, but I mean, they've been there for 30 years. And remember, not all Skrulls know that they're Skrulls. They can be like sleeper agents who don't know.
Not all Skrulls.
Yeah.
I think they told that story for a purpose to tie into the rest of this.
And the other bit that really with me is that kid was way too cool with that all of a sudden there's an alien that was wearing her mom's skin, not literally looking like her mom, and all of a sudden she turned back into an alien and there's glowing power hands. There's a guy with a big gash on his eye, and her aunt, who she had to be 4, who I'm surprised that she even remembered 6 years
She
ago.
had a box of her stuff.
I don't really think that was earned.
It does a lot of things that it hasn't earned. The scene with her getting up over and over and over again, supposed to resonate, doesn't, because she hasn't earned it. The scene where she shows up at the end of the movie and Cap is there, it's supposed to resonate, and it doesn't to me because it hasn't been earned. The relationship between her and the little kid that she's like kind of like Aunt Carol, and she,
Auntie
it's
Carol.
supposed to resonate, and it doesn't because it hasn't been earned. And it's the same thing with her relationship, this sisterhood relationship. I feel like with Dawn Cheadle, because it's supposed to resonate and it doesn't because it hasn't been earned.
So
You put sauce on the Dawn, and that's right.
now let me tell you what my wife said, which was insightful, and I wish she was here so she could properly explain it because I'm going to butcher it. She said, I'm really getting tired of all this powerful women for the sake of powerful women, and you're missing some attributes that make women women, the things that women value and whatever. And she's like, there was no love in this movie. She wasn't really attached to anybody. Even Mom Cheadle and the little girl, she really couldn't remember. She didn't have any real love for Jude Law's character, even though they hinted at some kind of a relationship. She didn't really have any love for the Kree Empire. She didn't really have any love for her family.
It was almost a metaphor for the way we feel about this movie.
There was no heart there. There was nothing for her to fight for or to value that made her real. She's just a paper bag.
Heart and connection is my issue with this
Yeah,
movie.
and my wife saying like that as a woman, that bothers me with her. I don't really like her character.
I like her character just fine, but I have no reason to love her character.
I haven't watched the movie, but just on that point that your wife made,
Yeah.
it's a different character. It might not be for your wife. It's somebody. A lot of people love this movie.
Yeah.
And this characterization of a powerful woman may be powerful just to be powerful. We have a lot of men characters who are powerful just for being powerful men, for the sake of being powerful
Like
men.
whom?
Like anybody in Dragon Ball. But regardless, it's a well-loved franchise. Dudes love it. I love it. There's no story. It's just watching a bunch of strong dudes beat the shit out of each other.
But I think that most of these characters in this franchise, you can relate their
Right.
loves and passions in their very first film.
Right, no, I'm just on the point of, well, maybe you butchered it. Her saying, like, I'm tired of powerful women just
It's not
being,
that she's- yeah,
for the
it's not
sake
that-
of being powerful. Like, these are movies about super spies, of men doing crazy shit that they definitely can't do
Talking
in real
about
life.
like a John Wick or
Yeah, that doesn't
any
happen.
of those.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
If it's a woman,
Yeah,
it's the
but
same impossibility for a woman
there,
and a man.
there
Let's-
is still
Let's keep it inside
inside the-
baseball.
Yeah.
So take Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Nobody has any complaints about any of that.
No.
As you say, it's a better movie, and I think most people agree.
I
And
don't
Wonder
know.
Woman, and she actually brought up Wonder Woman. She's like, Wonder Woman had love.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
But even aside from that, like you connect with this character even before the love story because you get all this information about her and her mom and the role that she's been conditioned for and how that's not really in her and she wants to be something greater. She wants to be a warrior. She wants to be strong. She doesn't want to be a princess. She wants to be a warrior. So it's the exact opposite of the mindset of like men don't like this because it's a powerful woman. It's like no, men like this because it is a powerful woman. That argument, it can't go both ways. Like I can't love Wonder Woman because she didn't want to be the prissy princess and wanted to be the warrior queen. And then if I say something about Captain Marvel, they're like, well, you don't want her to be powerful. It's like, well, no, I do.
you were absolutely right.
But I just want to care about her.
Yes.
Honestly, dude, like I don't care if she has the power to snap her fingers and bring half the world back, even if it's the wrong half. Like 2 caps. I just wanted 1 Bucky. You know, like I don't even care if she has that kind of power, or if she has the power. Like you know what her secret power is? She never gets a backsplash on a dookie. That's her secret power. I don't care if it's that minimal or that huge. I just want to care about.
But the character
her.
itself.
Yes.
Yeah, which I understand. Like, that's why I was probably more discussing about the point versus the movie, because I haven't watched the movie. Is it a short movie?
no,
No,
it's not.
average.
It's 2 hours.
But
give or take.
like
I feel like there should be more development development in 2 hours.
You think, but
Yeah,
they've got
it's-
so much story to give you. They've got so much actual narrative to give.
there's
to
a
these-
lot.
It is
the
very
Kree and the scrolls
narrative
and
heavy.
the time and the they have so
So
much.
this movie was a movie of purpose.
No, it
No,
wasn't.
to feed the audience all this information before whatever Phase 5 is coming.
Well, maybe for
that's
phase
what I'm
5,
thinking.
maybe for
That's
phase
what I
5.
said.
But the only thing it has to do for Endgame is introduce her, right?
I'm
And
thinking they're laying out the groundwork for after that.
it could
But
be.
crazy
but
thing is with what we saw the Kree homeworld.
could be
That's
the,
it.
Could be the scrolls. Marvel has taken painstaking approach to laying everything out in this breadcrumb.
Right.
You know, even the inconsistencies are easily forgiven because everything
forgotten.
else is so laid out and beautifully unwound from this spool. And
Yeah.
then all of a sudden they're like, we got nothing. Dump 2 hours on them. We need to dump 2 hours on them right now in order to make this all work, is how it seemed to me.
Nothing in this film is earned. Her powers aren't earned. The relationship with Nick Fury isn't earned. The relationship with the Kree isn't earned. It's all done in narrative of speaking it in the past tense.
I mean, there's a reason I wasn't interested in watching the movie in the first place.
I think it all boils down to this moment. She's been gifted these powers through a matter of circumstance. As a result, she is greater than human. But what makes her great to begin with is the fact that she never quit and she never gave up. It should all culminate at that point, and the hair on your arm should stand up, and you should want to get out of your seat and cheer. But you don't, because there's nothing that made you invested for
Yeah.
that moment to pay
Because
off.
she's not invested in anything.
It's just the payoff.
Yeah.
When we talk about it, it makes me seem like I hate it, and I don't. I'm disappointed that I don't love it. So you watch episode 2, and then episode 2 is done. You come into episode 3, and Grievous is there, and you don't know how Grievous is there. So you go back and you read the comics, and you find out that Grievous was like a general in an army, and he was mauled terribly and put back together as this machine. It's kind of a beta program for Vader and all that. And then when you see him in episode 3, it means a little bit more. You know who this character is. His
he was
trials,
just a
his
random
tribulations.
bro otherwise.
This is the fill-in comic book between movies made into a movie, is how it
Yes.
feels to
Yep.
me.
That's a great analogy,
Yeah.
Bobby.
That's how it feels.
Because they didn't want Captain Marvel to be a random bro in Infinity War. Or
She is very powerful. I didn't have a huge problem with that, with the exception of they didn't give an explanation. And I don't like that her fact that her powers come from the Cosmic Cube or come from the Tesseract. I don't know why they felt the necessity to change Marvel's sex, but I don't care.
I don't care either, but you know what bothered me more about it? That the Supreme Intelligence and Marvel were one and the same, as opposed to the sex change.
Yeah, because it's the person that she admires or whatever. That's
Right.
how it manifests. But I also think that'd be kind of dangerous for the Supreme Intelligence to do that. There should have been a transfer of energy. There should have been a blast that went through Marvel, that went through her, and that way her powers are something special, and there was kind of this freak accident. It just basically, she shot a engine that was powered by the Tesseract, and she just absorbed the engine blast as a human. That's it. You know, it's like
the Hulk?
It's kind of like the Hulk, but like not. You know what I mean?
Because
and the thing is, they already had a better explanation for it. You know what I mean? They've
mean-
already had better versions of it.
And you know, to be fair, even the Hulk is stupid. But if you want to boil it all down, but
Spider-Man?
yeah, that's stupid too. But the cool thing about both of those characters is all the other. The origin story is not what's cool about him. It's Banner being this frail, broken thing and having this monster that he has to protect the world from and all that. But that's what you connect to. It's that. And there's none of that. It's just one big platter of baked chicken.
I think it's going to end up being.
It's still definitely in a place where Endgame could make me go back and like Captain Marvel a lot
You'll
more.
appreciate it more.
Correct.
Do you like Doctor Strange more now that you've seen
1,000%.
Yeah,
Me
much,
too.
much better.
Me too. So it
1,000%.
could be. And I also want to. I want to watch it again because
I do too.
I've said
I do
I've
too.
seen things on opening night. I don't think you get the great perspective because there's so much going on. You miss jokes. You miss things because people left.
It's not a bad movie. It was the best okay movie you can have. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
It's just that we expect better now.
Yeah,
We expect better. Her character's written very poorly.
it may be a little bit of column A and a little bit of column B. Like I talk about that, like that je ne sais quoi. Like I don't know if she has that je ne sais quoi about her. Like
Yeah.
you know,
yeah.
like if you're hungry, right, and you sit down, Joe, I'm not gonna tell you what it is, but I'm cooking my specialty.
Some white people food.
You're gonna love it. It's my specialty. Everybody comes over and they say they've never had this specialty like they've had it at my house, and you're like okay, I'm not gonna eat all day. And you've had my cooking before, so you're like, he knows his way around the kitchen, and cool. And you show up and you sit down, and the baked chicken hits your plate. You're gonna eat it,
Yeah.
and you're gonna be satisfied.
It's fine.
It's going to be palatable, but that's it. Let's get into some questions.
I like baked chicken.
It's okay.
fine.
I eat it a lot.
It's fine.